previous videos to comment on a great suggestion. In my opinion, I thought it was a great opinion and a good idea. So that is why I'm making this video for you. You can sit back, enjoy, grab yourself a drink, get comfortable, or if you're gonna go to sleep, just put your earphones on or whatever you want to do. Just lay back and relax. So, by the title, I am going to be talking about my favorite shows, favorite series, favorite movies, and all that. So, yeah, we can get started. Let me open this. I have a sparkling water. Waterloo sparkling water. Give me a second. Yeah, it's strawberry flavored, so it should be good. Hopefully this doesn't make a lot of noise. I'm hoping that wasn't too loud for you guys. So, sorry, I had to get a little comfortable here. I need to be drinking something because I'm going to be, talking quite a bit. So, so to begin with, I'm going to start by letting you guys know on my favorite shows growing up. So as a child, I used to watch a lot of Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, and a couple other channels, but I was fortunate enough to grow up with those channels. Also, don't mind my hair. I know it's a little weird right now, but I just came out of the shower, so sorry about that. Don't mind my hair. So, my favorite shows growing up, I used to watch Hey Arnold a lot. That's, not a lot, I wasn't that was my favorite show, to be honest. It wasn't, but it was a good show. I used to watch Hey Arnold. If you guys don't know what Hey Arnold is or was, that's a 90s show. That was it's basically a show about it's a group of kids that I believe they all live around the same block, the same neighborhood. It even almost seems like it's New York or something like that. But they all go to school together, and Arnold, the main character, it's funny because he has a football shaped head. It reminds me of Stewie from oh my god, I'm blanking up, from Family Guy. Sorry. Kind of reminds me of him a little bit, like if he would be older, because that show, they're probably in their in middle school, something like that. Anyways, they go through a bunch of little things with school, conflicts. There's a girl that secretly likes him, but she acts mean to him, kind of bullies him, and he's such a nice, young kid, but it's all about school and problems with their neighborhood and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. I also watched Rugrats as a kid, so that's another show that I used to watch quite a bit. I used to watch Rugrats, and if you guys don't know what Rugrats is, it's a show basically all about toddlers. So literally, it's all about toddlers that can barely walk, pretty much. They're maybe like 3 years old or something like that, 4. And they just go through a bunch of like random, just random things. They go through like random adventures, within their house, or like make believe stuff. Like I think like things that they imagine or something like that. And they also go to different places. Like for example, like the parents take them to the park, and then the parents get distracted talking amongst themselves, and then they go on this like little adventure amongst themselves, the little kids. So that was a pretty good show. I also watched Little Bear in all these Little Bears. So Little Bear and Rugrats were probably, yeah, like I want to say Little Bear and Rugrats were like when I was, I want to say maybe about 7 years old or something like that. So that's like one of the first shows I watched. Little Bear is about this bear, like it's a whole family, but the main little bear, he's like a little kid, and I thought I was him. Like it's crazy, it's funny, but I envisioned myself as him because at that time I was like the same size, almost like a little kid, around the same age, and I had my parents too. And like I don't know, he also goes through a bunch of adventures. He has a bunch of friends, and they're all like all animals. Like there's a cat, owl, hen, duck. There's all these animals, and that's literally their name. Like owl, cat, whatever they are, that's their name. It's kind of funny, but yeah, he goes through a bunch of adventures, and it's a really good show. I mean, back in the day, I used to watch it a lot. Yeah, so I also used to watch Jimmy Neutron. Yeah, that's a show that I used to watch, Jimmy Neutron. So yeah, Nickelodeon. I believe all those were Nickelodeon. All the ones that I mentioned. So Jimmy Neutron. That's another cool show. It's about this like really smart young kid. Like he's maybe like around 10 years old or something like that. He's a little kid, maybe barely in middle school, and yeah, he's just a genius. Like he invents stuff, he creates a bunch of things, and he also goes like on random and crazy adventures with a couple of his friends, like from school and stuff. So that's another show that I used to watch here and there. Fairly Odd Parents, that's another show. I used to watch Fairly Odd Parents quite a bit, actually. That's probably I definitely used to watch it more than Jimmy Neutron, I want to say. Fairly Odd Parents. So Fairly Odd Parents, if you guys don't know, like I'm just gonna let you guys know in case you don't know what the show is about. But Fairly Odd Parents is a show of basically it's this kid. He's also like a young kid, maybe middle school, something like that. So he has two Fairly Odd Parents, and that's what it's called. What it's called, Fairly Odd Parents. Sorry, excuse me. Sparkling water. So, Fairly Odd Parents is a show based on. It's basically he has two godparents that are instead of godparents they're called odd parents, but they're magical. So they sorry. So they basically what they do is basically they make wishes like come true, like things come true, whatever he wants projections or something like that, but definitely can make like things appear, or people change into different things, objects, or and they themselves, the fairly odd parents, they themselves, they're the I believe the kid's name's Timmy, and then the fairly odd parents, the guys Cosmo and the girl's Wanda, and they're like a couple. Um, but yeah, and the guy's green, Cosmo, and then Wanda's pink. But it's funny because they themselves like transform into like random things throughout scenes, like to blend in, because they don't want other people to find out that they are like magical, and they grant wishes for him. So that one's it's a pretty interesting show. What else? Let me see here. I mean, oh, actually, when I started getting a little older, I think it was like maybe middle school, and then early high school years, I used to watch. I used to watch Drake and Josh a lot. Drake and Josh was, wow, that show was, I I think that's one of my favorite shows. I would have to say, that one was really good. It's about a couple brothers, if you guys don't know, and they live with their family like in a ordinary neighborhood, and they also go to school together, and like one of them, Drake, is like the famous one, like I mean like the popular one, I should say. He's like the ladies man. He gets like all these girls, and I guess he has the looks, good looks, and Josh, he actually started off like the actual person. He was he was pretty chubby in the early seasons, and then later on in the seasons, he started losing a lot of weight, and yeah, he was always more the like smarter one, the one that did good in school, like always behaved and got good grades and all that. And Drake, on the other hand, was like rebellious, didn't like to do homework, and like would ditch school and all that. Like they were just different, but and they also went through like some things, like just random things that happened in their school, or like in their house, or just random things. And it's a really good show. I used to watch That's So Raven. If you guys ever watched that show, it's about a girl. She's like maybe in high school. I think she's in high school. She she basically well, actually not mainly, but there was episodes where it was filmed in school, and like her deal was that she's like a sidekick, like she can see into the future before it happens, like if someone would get hurt, or like something would, like in her vision, she would see something falling on, like say her dad or something. She would see it, and then like it physically would happen, but sometimes like she was able to prevent it from happening. So that was pretty cool, like just random things that she could see into the future. And obviously with that, like there were their cons, the pros and cons, or negatives and positives with that, about seeing into the future, and her whole dilemma of dealing with boys, and getting along with other students in school, and Chelsea, this girl, and they also had like their own personalities, which is pretty cool. She also had a little brother and both parents, and this was like I think based off of like San Francisco area, so something like that. That was a really good show. So I mean, those are the main ones that I can think of for like my earlier years. I know there's like, you know, let me see here. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think there was a few other shows. Well, as a kid, actually, I'm remembering right now. I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh a lot. I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh. That was like a really, interesting show for me as a kid. Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like those dueling cards. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but it's an old school like game. Like it's similar to Pokemon, but it's a little different at the same time. Yeah, they had their own show too. But yeah, that's pretty much for the most part what I used to watch in my earlier years. So now as like an adult, I've watched, I'm rewatching Breaking Bad. I already watched that show. If you guys don't know what Breaking Bad is, it's a show based on this guy. He's a chemistry teacher at a high school, and he has cancer. So I believe he has lung cancer, and he's getting sick like day by day. He's just getting worse, and he thinks of a way to provide for his family. After he passes, so he doesn't want to leave his family just high and dry like that, and he decides to sell drugs. So yeah, so it's like an adult show. So if you're not over the age of 18 or whatever the age is, I think it's like 18. Or yeah, I think it's 18. Yeah, then I don't think you should be watching because it does have like some violence and language and all that, a little bit of nudity. But yeah, it's all the things that he goes through with selling all that, and it's just he goes through a lot of stuff. And he has his wife and kid, and his young kid that he's like in high school, but he give me a moment, give me a second. So, where was I? Oh yeah, his son is like physically disabled. Like I forgot the proper term for it, but he has these two it's like two things for his arms, and that's what helps him walk. So it's just a lot that he has to bear with and deal with on the daily basis, or like every episode. So that is a really good show in my opinion. It just really puts you to think some things. Almost like shows you more like values and to value people more, and it's just it's a really good show in my opinion. What other shows? I think I'm blanking now. No, I don't want shows. Well, I watch, like I'm pretty sure you guys have all watched Squid Game. So first didn't really want to watch it just because I'm like, well, like so many people have watched it already, and it's like kind of like burned out. But I would hear everyone say, "Oh, it's a really good show. You should watch it." So eventually, I was like, "Okay, let me give it a try." So I decided to watch it, and I actually really enjoyed it. If you guys haven't watched it and you're of age, you're able to watch it. If you're old enough, I would watch it. If you haven't, it also gives you a perspective on humanity, like morals, in in communities, and just overall as human beings, what they're capable of doing for money, because those people that are struggling, they're capable of doing, just causing madness. And in that show, it's about people that get opportunity to make a bunch of money and turn their life around for a high cost. And I mean, as you guys probably know, they risk their lives out there to be able to perform these games and pass them, and reach their ultimate goal to win like a lot of money. So that's a really good show as well. I also watched like different like Pablo Escobar, a series. That was a good series about his life. It shows since he started, like Pablo, since he started, when he was a young boy, and then as a young man, and how he moved up in his business, and the things that he goes through. That's a good show. I also watched El Chapo. That's another good show. And it's the same thing, just his side of the story, like his his start, how he started in his business, and what he does, what he did, and how he got to where how we mainly all know him as. Those are two other good shows. I've watched like here and there other shows, but kind of like I don't think I've really finished them. I just kind of watched a couple episodes and then just kind of either lost interest or just stopped watching them for some reason. So as far as movies now, man, I'm a huge movie guy. So at the top of my head, the ones that I've liked. I mean, I'm actually seeing some right now that I have in my room. Let me see if any of these are like the Halloween series, like all the movies Halloween, with Michael Myers. Oh man, that's huge. The serial killer Michael Myers. It's like a classic series, or classic set of movies there. It's really good. Talking about horror and slashers, so Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger, all those movies are good. Also, like all the Child's Play and the Chucky movies, those are all good too. Really good movies. I watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies with Leatherface, Hellraiser. That's like a classic, slasher, old school. Scream with Ghostface. All those movies as well are good. Pretty much all the slasher movies I've watched. Friday the 13th, Jason. All those are good. What else? I guess now, like, okay, so the Paranormal Activities. I mean, I know or actually, I'd rather not say in case you guys haven't watched them. I don't want to kill your. It's not not really spoiling it, but I'd rather let you guys watch it and then make your own opinion on that. But they're pretty interesting. They're entertaining. Some like The Conjuring, Annabelle, all those movies I think they're pretty good. The fact that the Conjuring movies are like based on a true story, it's crazy. That movie of horror, those the old one and the new one is pretty good. Alright, well now moving on into like action. So, I've read like 007 movies. Those are good. Mission Impossible. Those are good. Oh my god, I did not remember this. Harry Potter. I've always liked Harry Potter. If you guys have not watched Harry Potter, I personally highly recommend that whole like set of movies. So that one, I'll elaborate a little bit. It's about a young boy that basically is raised by two like magic parents, and they basically get trained in this place, like a school. It's called Hogwarts, where they learn how to like do magic and learn spells and stuff like that. And the Harry, the young boy, he becomes like a big time wizard, and he has to deal with a bunch of stuff too. I'm not gonna get into details because you guys watch it. I'm the type that I don't like spoiling. I do not like spoiling movies for others or shows or whatever. I'll let you guys decide what if you like it or not. Batman, like the Dark Knight trilogy, that's a really good series just about Batman and his encounters with, quote unquote evil, or, the villains. Like Marvel movies, pretty much all the Marvel movies, like Thor, Iron Man, Doctor Strange. What else? Like the Avenger movies, all those are really good. I think those are awesome. Those Spider-Man movies are really good too. I really like the original, like with Tobey Maguire, but I have to say with Tom Holland, I think he's making a case for better actor than Tobey Maguire. I mean, that's just me. He is. I mean, it might be just the graphics and all that, and the crazy things they add on into those movies. I think they're really good. They're really really good with Tom Holland. And then we got that new one coming up, I believe in December. So I'm definitely gonna watch that one. I've watched the Venom movies, Venom 1 and 2. They're pretty good. Pretty much all DC and Marvel I've watched. Like the Justice League, I've actually only watched the first one. I still haven't watched the second one. I still need to watch that one. Let's see here. I'll try to see. I've watched like King Kong. Those movies are pretty good. King Kong, Jurassic Park. Those are good. Like, I mean, I think that's pretty much it for the most part. I know I rambled on for quite a while now, and I was supposed to kind of stick to my favorites, but honestly, I pretty much did. Like, I'm a huge movie guy, so it was kind of hard not to like mention any of these. I had to like pretty much tell you all the ones that I liked. Training Day, that's a good one. Training Day, if you guys haven't watched it, I highly recommend that movie. It's about a rookie cop that is starting his job in LA, and he encounters his like leader. I think he's like lieutenant or something. And he shows him the ropes, like the streets, but he's a crooked cop, so he has to deal with his craziness. And it's Denzel Washington as the crooked cop, and Ethan Hawke as the main actor, the rookie cop. So awesome movie. That's another one that I missed out on. But yeah, that's for the most part. I've watched a ton of movies in my lifetime, but those are the main ones that come to mind. All those shows, all those series, and those movies are all like, dear to my heart. I really love all of them. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this this video on my favorite things. Just make sure to leave a thumbs up for me, please. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already. And stay tuned for my next video.